Alright, to be completely fair, it is not my fault that the game ends at 9:40. I go to sleep at 10. So, one, I couldn't record them. Then, in the morning, I woke up late, so I couldn't record them. And then I have practice. School basically goes from 2 to 4 because I have practice. Then I had to eat. So, to be fair, I really didn't have any time to record. So, yes, this is late. However, I don't know if you guys can tell, I received a new phone. My whole family did, so it's not just me. The phone's better. I just kind of like the button, but that's not what we're here for, obviously. So if there's I don't know if the sound quality is different. The visuals are different, like that. I can do that now. I can do that. I can do that. So it's a little different, but at the same time, it's basically nothing changed. But yes, we are finally here, and finally had time to upload. This is right before the championship game for college basketball, so that's great. But the Battlehawks, they won easily. Let's be honest. It was an easy game throughout. Brahmas, they tried, and then their guy got picked off. It was really not close the whole game. It was 20-3. If there's, yeah. It was 20-3. Then San Antonio scored a touchdown. Or was it 17-3 and then we got a touchdown? I don't fully remember. But it was 9-23, 9-20. And then we got an interception. And that was basically the game. The Brahmas couldn't do anything after that. Of course, they got close to another touchdown, but they got stopped at 4th down. And that was basically the game. Then Duggan came in. He kind of didn't play good. Then they got the ball back. And then we got another 4th down stop, with Tamalpenu getting another game-winning sack. And then we got the 1st down. We won. Here's what I'm really here to talk about, though. I don't know if there's in a show here. It doesn't. I am very concerned. If this league was big, if this was a big league, I think it'd be pretty obvious. I'm not going to lie, the refs are favoring us the whole game. Even the rules officials were favoring us the whole game. Now, this could just be the Brahmas sucking and being bad with penalties and stuff like that. But I'm going to be honest. Everything went our way in terms of penalties. Anthony Beck, their head coach, he used 2 super challenges, and he got them both correct. Now, to be fair, both of them were the correct calls. However, when the opposite coach used a super challenge on what I thought would have been a flag, he said that was not a good challenge. We were getting all the calls. There was a lot of flags. If this was the NFL, they would be calling the Battlehawks the Chiefs or something, which is fair. I'm not going to lie. The refs do seem like they favor us. However, all the calls were, except for a few that were iffy, all of them were correct. So, concerning about the refs, but it's good to see the Battlehawks do good. And let's be honest, if all those fouls are called the other way, it really have changed much. But the Battlehawks, they won 26-9. They held on to the ball for 36 minutes, while the Browns only held on to the ball for 24. Both of them had 9 drives, though. The Battlehawks had 7 more plays, 57-50, with nearly 100 more yards, 319 to 223. Battlehawks had 5.6 yards per play, while the Brahmas only had 4.5. And the Battlehawks, they might have the worst red zone offense in the game. There were multiple times where they were at the 2, the 5, and they just didn't score a touchdown. They had to kick a lot of field goals. There was there was one of them where quite literally got to the 2 off of, I believe, a flag, couldn't score, kicked the field goal, is roughing the kicker, we got the ball at the 2 again, and still couldn't score a touchdown, and he had to kick a field goal. I don't know if that's just Manny Wilkins complicating things, because he was doing some dumb plays, although he did play really well. Or we just can't coach in the red zone, but that's definitely a concern. However, didn't affect us here. 2 red zone touchdowns. Brahmas only had 1. Obviously, the Battlehawks had 4 red zone attempts, while the Brahmas, they had 3. For passing, the Battlehawks had an edge, 155 to 111 for the Brahmas. The Brahmas did have 1 more completion than the Battlehawks, 13 to 12. But the Brahmas had 27 passing attempts, while the Battlehawks only had 17. And the Battlehawks had 9.1 yards per attempt, while the Brahmas only had 4.1. Neither team scored a passing touchdown because they were all going on the ground. Brahmas had 112 yards on the ground, while St. Louis, after their high, 220, 230, they only had 164 this week. They attempted 39 compared to the Brahmas 19, so a more efficient day for San Antonio on the ground. But we had more yards, 5.9 to 4.2, obviously. But, to be fair, we got 3 rushing touchdowns, and they all came from Jacob Sayers. This guy is an absolute star. He did it last week, too. I believe. He has 4 rushing touchdowns. He's good. He's good. He's a really good player. Expected to see him in the NFL soon. Honestly, he's really good. Brahmas did have 1 rushing touchdown, though. But we had 3, so. And for turnovers, obviously only 1. The Brahmas do an interception. So let's start with the Battlehawks stats. Manny Wilkins, starting QB, 12 for 16, 162 yards. No touchdowns, but that's okay, with an average of 10 yards over the air and a QBR of 106.8. Duggan came in, he threw a pass. That was just a throwaway, though. Always good to see Duggan. For rushing, Wilkins honestly had a better day on the ground, to be fair. Although he does make a lot of dumb plays, to be honest. He's kind of like I said, he's kind of like Anthony Richardson. He makes some dumb plays, but he's good at rushing. He ran 9 for 58. Sailors obviously had the most attempts, 11 carries for only 46 yards. However, he got into the end zone 3 total times, so you gotta respect him for that. Pearson only had 2 runs for 14 yards. Howard had 6 for 13. Jennings had 1 for 13. Latulis had 5 for 12. Duggan, he ran 4 times for 10, although 3 of those were kneel downs. Obviously, he had the game-clinching first down run. It was like a 3rd and 13, and he got it. And Jackson came in and he ran 1 for -2. For receiving, Jennings, he caught 1 ball for 58 yards. That was a really good throw from Wilkins. Jackson caught 1 for 26. Sailors caught 3 for 25. Mims caught 2 for 20. Sutherland caught 1 for 14. Howard caught 1 for 11. And Pearson had caught 3 for 8. Our main wide receiver was out this week. I believe it's for some hamstring injury. So it's good to see that the offense is still doing good without him. Obviously, that's... Jeez, why is there a lot of players? Where is he at? Hakeem Butler. Obviously, that's Hakeem Butler. He was out, unfortunately. For the defense, Kelly had the most tackles with 5. Tied with Wells, obviously, but he had more SOLs with 4. Wells only had 2. Sebastian came down with the pick and 2 pass deflections. Feeney had a sack and a tackle for loss. Meters had a sack and a pass deflection. Peyton Jones had two SOLs and a pass deflection. 2 pass deflections, I mean. Falu had a sack and also had a tackle for loss. Taumapenu obviously had a sack and a tackle for loss as well, with Dennis also picking up a tackle for loss, Cole picking up the pass deflection as well. For 4 total sacks, 4 total tackles for losses, 1 interception, and 6 pass deflections. No fumbles, obviously. 2 kick returns for Jackson for 49 yards, and Pearson had 3 punt returns for 49 yards. Rodrigo Blankenship was a perfect 2 for 2, long of 45, and 6 total points. Hoffinger punted 3 times, and he averaged around 49 yards. His long was 57. Now over to the Brahmas. Mond, not a good day for passing. Probably be better if it was an NFL stat line, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Mond, 13 for 27, 129 yards. 1 interception, no touchdowns, and he averaged 4.8 with a QBR of 46.7. For rushing, McFarland, 6 for 55. Corbin had 10 for 38 and a touchdown, and Mond rushed 3 times for 19 yards. For receiving, Harris led with 3 catches for 69 yards, along with 30. Kirkland, 4 catches for 43 yards. He had a long of 24 as well. McMath had 1 for 8. Ward had 2 for 7. Corbin had 2 for 4. And McFarland had 1 for -2. On the defense, Beckett cleared the 4 with the tackles. He had 8 total tackles with 5 SOLs. Mosley led in SOLs with 6. And Beckett also had a tackle for loss. Elliott had a tackle for loss. Phillips had a pass deflection. Keys had 2 tackles for losses. Ichukwu had 1 tackle for loss. Jones had 1 tackle for loss and a sack. Barry had 1 tackle for loss. Ndukwe had 1 tackle for loss. Hooper had a pass deflection for 1 sack, 8 tackle for losses because we ran a lot. No interceptions, and 2 pass deflections, obviously. No fumbles for them either. Kirkland had 1 kick return for 37 yards, while McFarland had 5 for 134. However, Kirkland had the better average with 37. Stevenson, Ward, and Sexton all had 1 punt return. Stevens had 1 for 11, Ward had 1 for 7, and Sexton had 1 for no gain. For kicking, destroying Donald De La Haye, he went a perfect 1 for 1, so that's good for him. As long as 31, and he had a total of 3 points. And Wing punted 4 times, and he averaged 50, basically, with 1 inside the total. So, a little bit quicker video, obviously. Sorry for being late, again. Obviously, the Battlehawks, their next game is the Defenders. I believe at home. At home. So it's good that that's at home because they're both part of the XFL division. Obviously, this is a crucial game to be on top of the standings because the Renegades are also 2-0. So this is a needed win, especially since it's at home. And then, of course, we play the Renegades right after. And that's away. So this Week 3 win against the Defenders will be necessary. And I think we'll pull it off. Because then we go on the road to play the Renegades. Obviously, in our division, of course. We're going to play the Brahmas again. Then we're going to play the Defenders in Week 10. Which probably is going to be crucial for seeding. And then Renegades is after the Panthers week again, so 2 in a row, basically. And that will be at home. So right now, Battlehawks look like the best team in the league, especially with the Stallions losing a game. So I'm pretty happy. We're doing pretty good. We got to get ready for the Defenders, though. This is going to be a pretty tough game, in my opinion. So anyway, that is all I have for today. So I'll see you guys next time, and peace.